About the maximum segment size that the TCP can transmit from sender to receiver. If I have a sender, if I have again a receiver here, what would be the maximum segment size? You call in short as MSS, maximum segment size that the sender is transmitting to the receiver. We will see this with an example. Suppose if I have a file whose size is 5 lakhs. The meaning is my entire file contains 5 lakh bytes. So in that case, the sender cannot send the file whose size is just 5 lakhs, which is a quite big number. So the bandwidth you can notice here, the bandwidth between the sender and receiver may not be that high to send such a large file. Such a large bulky file cannot be sent from sender to receiver. Instead, this file could be broken down into multiple smaller chunks. So wherein each such chunk, you call it as chunk, wherein each such chunk can be of maximum segment size. Instead of chunk, you can also call that small piece of data as a smaller segment. Entire file is broken down into segments where each such segment can be, for example, of size say 1000 bytes. I'm just repeating. If I have a file whose size is 5 lakh bytes, I can break that file into smaller segments where each segment is of size 1000 bytes. So total number of segments that I could create out of this file is 500 segments, where each segment size is 1000 bytes. Suppose if I have a file whose size is 5 lakh bytes, I can just break down that file into multiple smaller segments where each segment size is 1000 bytes. So total I can have 500 such segments for my file. So 500 such segments should be now transmitted from the sender to the receiver. You can just see that in the form of a diagram. Suppose this entire thing, what you can see here is my file. I can break down that file into multiple segments. You can just see here, this is my first segment and my first segment size is 1000. So you can see the sequence number is assigned not for the segment, but instead the sequence number is assigned for each byte, each and every byte within the segment. You can see here my first segment contains total 1000 bytes, where each such byte is getting a sequence number, and this is my 999 byte. So my first segment size is 1000. Now my second segment now also has the same size, maximum segment size, that is 1000. So wherein my very first byte in second segment starts from the sequence number 1000. Continuous sequence numbers here are used to indicate every byte within each segment. So we have the next segment 1001, next 1002, it goes on. So the last segment is having the last byte inside the second segment has the sequence number 1999. So likewise it continues until you reach the last byte in the file, that is 49999. as a sequence number to the last byte of my last segment. So that is the one point that you need to know here, that is the sequence number is assigned to every individual byte inside the segment. So we have the next concept, that is the TCP sequence numbers and the acknowledgement. Here the sequence number are nothing but the unique number that is assigned to every byte inside the segment. Acknowledgement is the one where the number is again assigned to the acknowledgement. So wherein you can just notice here, if a number is assigned to every acknowledgement, that indicates that it is the expected bytes sequence number, or in other words it tells about the uh, number of bytes that it has acknowledged. You call that as cumulative acknowledgement. Let's see this acknowledgement concept and sequence number concept with the help of an example, or we'll deal with the confusion there created with the sequence number. Suppose if the bytes are transferred between sender and receiver, and suppose if the receiver is receiving out of order bytes, in that case how the receiver will identify or shuffle back that out of order bytes into the order one, or how this receiver will identify the individual packet that he is receiving, whether the received packet is out of order or in order. So how does he decide? So about that also we will see with the help of an example. Yes, so we can just see here the segment that is sent. You have it is in the form of a yeah, this is the structure of the segment. This is the outgoing segment. You can just see the same thing. Okay, so just to look at this diagram, we have here the green segments you can call, which indicates that these are already sent and these for which the acknowledgement is already received. These yellow are the one wherein you can see indicates that these are the packets which are already sent but the acknowledgement is not received. This black one indicates that these are the packets which could be sent but they have not yet arrived from the above application layer. So these brown packets are the one which cannot be sent. Why? Because it has these are the packets which falls outside my sliding window. So you can see the sliding window size is n. These are the yellow packets plus black packets inside my sliding window. So I can send only those packets which are inside my window. So green as well as brown packets are the one which are falling outside the window, which indicates that all left green packets are acknowledged packets and all the right brown packets are not the packets which are ready to be sent, or those are the packets which have not yet arrived from the application layer. So this is about this. So we will just discuss in detail about sequence number and acknowledgement number with the help of an example. Okay, so this is again explained here about the outgoing segment and the incoming segment. So here the outgoing segment, this indicates the sender and this indicates our receiver. So sender is sending by adding sequence number, receiver is receiving the segment, and upon its receipt he will send an acknowledgement wherein he will add acknowledgement number and send. Okay, this is how the segment is transferred from the sender to receiver. Now, as I already said, let's discuss about the sequence number and acknowledgement number. Just see, here is our sender, host A. This is our receiver, host B. Host B can also act as a sender Host A also can act as a receiver. So here sender and receiver job is performed both by host B as well as by host A. Yes, initially. This is, you can just see here, host A is sending the data. I'll just take an example here. Host A, it's very simple. See, host A is simply typing a letter or the character C. Once he types the character C, let's assume that that is a message that host A wants to send it to host B. So once he types the character C, the moment he presses enter, that will be transmitted to the host B. You can see for this character C, a sequence number is assigned. That indicates it's a character C is a byte for which a sequence number is assigned, and now this will be transmitted to host B. Sender is sending to the receiver. At the same time, you can see here an acknowledgement is sent along with this. What is this acknowledgement? This acknowledgement sent by host A indicates that this must be an acknowledgement for the previously received data from host B. Host B might have sent earlier some data, and now host A is sending an acknowledgement back to host B by adding a unique number to host B. So this is the data that host A is transmitting. Remember, the sequence number for the data C is 42 and acknowledgement number 79 here is nothing but the acknowledgement of the previously received data from host B. Once the host B receives the letter C or the data here C, host B has to send back an acknowledgement. So just notice here, host B, once he receives the character, he will again reply by sending the same data back to host A. See, this is a very simple concept to only discuss about sequence number and acknowledgement number. Host A is typing the character C and sending to host B. Again, host B is sending back an acknowledgement. Along with an acknowledgement, he also echoes back the same letter what he has received. That means he is sending the character again. Host B is sending the same character again to host A to indicate that he has received correctly the data or the character C. So this time you see the sequence number that is added for this character is 79. It is matching with the acknowledgement number that host A had sent earlier. So the meaning is now acknowledgement number used in the previous stage will indicate that, or it indicates that the next expected sequence number at host A is 79. It must be 79. So this acknowledgement number indicates here, or the recipient here, once he receives the acknowledgement number, that indicates that the next byte that host B is transmitting must use, for the next byte it must use the sequence number that is 79 only. So the next byte what host B is transmitting is letter C, for which he is using the sequence number 79. Now you can see here acknowledgement that he is sending. This acknowledgement is for the previously received data. So what is the previously received data sequence number of that? It is 42. So the acknowledgement now what the receiver is sending or host B is sending is this sequence number, or the acknowledgement number is 43. The meaning is the next expected byte from host A is or must have the sequence number 43 only. So once the host A receives this acknowledgement, the host should understand that he will look into the acknowledgement number. He will understand that the previously sent data is correctly received. Now he must be sending now the acknowledgement for this received reply from host B. So how is he sending back the sending back the receipt for this? The receipt is sent back by just adding the sequence number. So what is the sequence number he is using now? So again he is sending or echoing back the same letter C, but for that he is adding the sequence number. So from where he has learnt this sequence number? It is from the previously received acknowledgement. He has received the acknowledgement 43. The meaning is host B is saying that the next expected data should have the sequence number 43. So sequence number 43 is attached. Now he must also send an acknowledgement for the previously received data. So for the previously received data, what acknowledgement is used? See, the previously received data has the sequence number 79. So the acknowledgement that he is sending now for the receipt of the data with sequence number 79 should have 179 previous sequence number plus 1, that is acknowledgement 79 plus 1 80. So you can just see again here, the first data that is transmitted is letter C from host A to host B, for which acknowledgement is 79. For which the sequence number is 42, and this acknowledgement indicates 79 indicates the previously received data. You can just see here what might be the sequence number of previously received data there. The sequence number of the previously received data also must be 79. The same number is used here as acknowledgement number. Upon receipt of the letter, host B will echo back by saying that he has correctly received the data, so for which he is sending the acknowledgement, and this acknowledgement number is plus 1 of the previously sent data. So previously sent data is sequence number is 42. So you can see here the sequence number of the previously sent data must be how much? It's not 79, it must be 78. Why? Because the acknowledgement number used here by host A must be plus 1, sequence number plus 1, that is 79. So similarly you can see when the sender host B is sending the data, so the acknowledgement for the previously received data is 43, 42 plus 1. So the sequence number, what should be the sequence number for the letter C? It must be the previously sent acknowledgement number, same as previously sent acknowledgement number. Similarly, when host A is sending the reply back, is adding the sequence number here 43, which indicates it is same as the previously received acknowledgement number. And the acknowledgement that is sending for the previously received data with sequence number 79, that is 79 plus 1, 80. So this is how the data transfer takes place with the help of sequence number and with the help of acknowledgement number. I hope this is clear.